Hello, everyone, and welcome to Scarred Lands, Sins of Shelzar, Dead Man's Rust, Season 2, Episode 3. This week, our adventurers will be formally entering the Broadreach Horizon for the first time, headed to the Horse Clan village. But before we get too far into that, I did want to just bring a couple things up, make a few quick announcements. First off, I want to remind everybody that you can pre-order Dead Man's Rust, the campaign that we are playing through right now, at BackerKit, and that if you do pre-order it, you can get access to the manuscript as it stands right now and start running your group through Dead Man's Rust. That link is up in the chat. I also want to remind everybody that Save Against Fear is this weekend. It's a convention that benefits the Bodhana group, who do therapeutic tabletop gaming work. It's a really cool cause. They do some fantastic work. There are games that are being run and coordinated through Start.playing games, and so you can hop in as a player. I think there's still slots to hop in as a game master as well. There's going to be panels, several of which are going to be dealing with therapeutic use of tabletop, but there's also going to be a couple of panels like regarding specific settings. I'm going to be speaking on 3 panels this weekend, one of which is the Crossroads Continent panel on Saturday, which I'm super excited about. That's the setting that Rich Thomas created in high school and has been playing ever since, and it's finally released for the public to check out. It's available at the Drive-Thru RPG, but if you're available and want to check out some online gaming this weekend, head over to the Bodhana Group's page to learn about Save Against Fear. And then I wanted to also remind everyone that the Indie Press Revolution Half-a-Ween sale is going on right now. And that includes a whole bunch of Scarred Lands materials. So half off, numerous Onyx Path books, dice, various accessories, including the Scarred Lands Player's Guide, the Wise and the Wicked, and the Creature Collection. So you get those things for half off for the traditionally printed offset print, nice, real pretty books there. So head over there and get yourself into the Scarred Lands if you've not yet done so already. Before we dive in and recap, let's have everybody do our intros real quick. I don't think we've done them since the first episode of the season. So let's start things off with Alan. Please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, pronouns and pronouns.
Okay, I'm Milena, she, her. I'm playing Holland, who's also she, her. Holland is a ironbred, and so it's like a horse person. And she's basically if The Witcher was a horsewoman. And in real life, I am an artist and just creative person from Chicago land, Chicago-ish. And I do some things on Twitter and Instagram and Patreon just at Milena Deneno, but no promises. I'm very flaky.
Awesome. Next up, Charlene, please give us your pertinence.
Hey there, I'm Corey Frang, aka Narf on the interwebs, and today I will be, or they, them, and I will be playing Charlong, also they, them, the orc sorcerer with a great axe. You can see the picture right there.
Love it, love it. Next up, Haiku, please give us your pertinence.
Hey guys, I'm Mike. I am Mike Butin pretty much everywhere. I am an artist, and today I'm playing Haiku, the warlock tiefling, with some PTSD. That's pretty fun to play.
Right on. And last but not least, that brings us to Charlie. Please give us your pertinence.
I am Sarah Sharnover, she, her. I am playing Charlie, she, her, or they, them. I am author and a YouTuber and Twitch game player. I don't want to call myself a gamer. That's weird. Yeah, I have books on Amazon and I do things. Oh, and I have a podcast where I talk about Twin Peaks. Them's the things.
That is true. The Twin Freaks podcast, which is available, I think, everywhere where podcasts are casted.
That is
pods.
correct. And on a YouTube channel.
And that brings us to me, Travis Legge, he, him, or they. They're all fine. And I'll be the game master for this and all of our sessions. And not with us tonight is Ithrin, as she is far away in the distant land of the Upper Peninsula at a secret location, engaged in some sort of ritualistic gathering with other tabletop gaming type folks. I promised we would try not to kill her while she was gone. So, speaking of killing player characters, you all just got into a fight with some undead that you had identified as being as wearing the sort of iconography of Glividatel, the city of necromancers on the western border of the Hornsaw Forest. They have a horrifying reputation of being just effectively worshippers of death who wish to kill every living thing on Skarn and then rule over its reanimated corpses. That's kind of the gist of what you know about Glividatel. You also know they had this little dispatch of undead who you handily destroyed. You were able to loot the bodies and then continue on your way. Did you have anything else that you wanted to do before you left the area where the fight had taken place?
I don't have anything, but I am
would like
looking.
to not be infected.
That's fair. I'm just looking at like little icons on top of a screen of infinite black. So I am in the universe, just so you know.
You are in the universe, and I will keep that in mind.
Okay. But no, I didn't have anything I wanted to do other than, yeah, that'd be cool if we weren't infected. Since I didn't even do anything and I got infected by proximity and I don't appreciate it.
You don't even know what you're infected with.
I didn't get
It's
infected
not-
though, right?
You did not get infected.
All right.
It's not that you get infected with like, oh, I have the $1 million comes out my ears when I sleep. Like that's not an infection.
You got the polka dot man thing where you just bomb it like rainbows.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's not okay. I don't want that.
All right. You gather your things and begin making your way to Equus, the horse clan village. As you're on approach, you do see off in the distance, when you're probably 7,500 yards from where Dradaki has said the entrance to this place is. You see up ahead just a little bit further, several Hollow Legionnaires kind of out in a clearing, running combat maneuvers.
Is this sort of thing normal around here?
Who are you asking?
Jodaki, I guess.
Dradaki says, "Wouldn't know. Haven't been here in many a year. I didn't know that the Hollow Legionnaires had this many people this far outside the Gleaming Valley, though."
Should we try to figure out what's going on, or just get past them?
I would assume it's none of our business. We don't even need to actually pass them. We can certainly just go into the village. But
Sure.
if you want to go investigate, we certainly can as well.
It's interesting, but
Well, I'm certain we'll have some time once we've gotten inside as well. And frankly, my feet hurt. He continues sort of edging you along toward the entryway. You come to a place where the trees are starting to sort of collapse inward a little bit, creating like a copse of trees. And as you step in, you see an archway. Looks like it's crafted from trees that were like deliberately grown to build this arch. And out in front of it, you see there are 2 guards. And I will let each of you make a perception and or just a straight wisdom check if you'd like.
I got a 15.
12.
Nat 20.
Damn.
Sherlin?
17.
Pretty good.
Alan, you're the only one in the group that notices, but there are 2 elves up in each of the trees that are on either side of the arch. Posted, carrying longbows, and they're blended in remarkably well with those leaves.
Elf archers, how cliche.
Like you you are surprised you noticed them.
I elbow Haiku and like look up at the tree. Like
Just like-
discreetly.
Still trying to like see it. Like, I don't see shit.
The 2 elves standing outside the door step forward as you approach. And they too are covered in tattoos. They're wearing cloaks with hoods, very loose fitting sleeveless tunics that wrap down to about mid-thigh. And you can see they've got tattoos, necks, chest tattoos, arm tattoos, some facial work, some leg work. If you'd like to each go ahead and make a history check, and I will give advantage. or not
Holy shit,
advan-
Nat 20.
Hey, somebody's die
What
roll
is
is broken.
happening?
It's making up for all the ones that you didn't get before. Corey, you won't have advantage, but you will have the bonus from your tattoo supplies. So if you have expertise in those or anything like that.
I got an 18.
I got 11.
And what did Charlon get?
13.
Beautiful. So, Haiku and Alan, you both recognize that these tattoos are indicators of age. They're indicators of kind of station within the clans and indicators of what clan they belong to. And you notice with your natural 20, Alan, you recognize the tattoos because you've actually done some trade with elf probably 5 years ago that was in Shelzar that was tattooed with the similar markings.
Wait, so I recognize that they're
That they're of the horse clan.
of the elves
Yes.
are of the horse clan.
There are, you know that there are like 30 clans of elves in the Broadreach Horizon.
Okay. I will say it's like, oh shit. kind of like in a breath, not to be disrespectful to them. It's like, the elves are from the horse clan. Do you see the tattoos? I guess to Charlung, because Charlung likes the tattoos.
Do you know anything about this clan?
Do I, Travis?
Sure. Mostly, you know that they're expert equestrians. That's where they got their name. They raise and breed horses. Also, they're kind of the default leader of the Broadreach clans after the Unicorn clan didn't return with the rest of them.
Yeah, so I'll say that.
The first one speaking says, what is your business?
We were just coming here, the player question. We were coming here to just take a night's rest in a city, right?
Yeah, your ultimate aim is to drop Dragaki off in Freeholm, which is the village of the Broadreach dwarves. We're just stopping here for supplies and rest.
We're on our way to Freeholm, and we'd like to stop for supplies and rest.
They nod. The inn is past town square. When you first go in, you'll pass the faith shrines. If you need to make it any prayers to your gods, so be it. And then go through town square past town hall. And you'll see the Wayfinders Inn on the other side.
Thank you.
Of course,
Very good
just
shot for. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
they just say, just obey the laws, behave yourselves, and enjoy your stay. I step aside.
Is there a good shop for weapons around here?
Several.
How far away was that encounter with the undead that we had?
Oh, probably half a day's travel.
Do you think we should, I kind of asked discreetly if anyone else thinks we should let the guards know that there were undead half a day's travel from their city.
What language are you asking discreetly in?
Probably just common.
There's 85 flavors of common in Skylands.
You
You all speak Shelzari, and chances are
Yeah,
fairly
sure.
good that nobody here does.
I'll
Lydian
use
is the
our
trade language.
home language.
Yeah.
Shelzar.
So, yeah, you're asking the rest of the group, rather?
Yeah.
Probably couldn't hurt. I
Just
don't know how common it is around here.
yeah, I feel like it's the kind of thing I'd want traveler to tell me. So I'll mention it to the guards. We back in you said Ildian was the trade common?
Lydian. Yeah.
Lydian. In Lydian, we ran into a pack of undead about half a day's journey northwest of here.
It's not terribly common to see Glividatel let their forces get this far. But I appreciate the heads up. Were they still wandering? I can send some scouts.
Not
No,
anymore.
Took care of the ones we came across.
Good. Anything else you may have noticed?
Maybe don't touch the bodies. That's what I'm getting, right? That's what happened last time?
None of you know you're even carrying the infection.
Oh, never mind then. Don't say that.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That's very neighborly of you to tell us.
Head
A player
in.
question.
Yeah.
How many days was last game?
Last game was like 9 days.
9 days. So that's 45 gold, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't been
So,
keeping track of it. I figured he was going to pay us when we got there.
As you head in, you walk past. You can feel sort of like a tickling on your flesh as you walk underneath this arch, like you're stepping into a magical effect of some kind. The first thing you note are 4 standing stones. Each of those standing stones is dedicated to one of the divine victors, the principal gods worshipped on Skarn. Now, there are normally 8 gods are considered the divine victors. Only 4 of them are given a shrine here, which are Denev, who's technically not even a god. She's a titan. Corian, Madriel, and Tennille. None of the other gods are represented. Does anyone want any?
I feel like Ithrin is going to want to stop at the Denev shrine because we met their not nymph dryad, right?
Yeah,
they
the
were nice to
Hamadryad.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, she just says, "You go ahead. I'll meet up with you at the inn." Sits down and starts performing some rituals. Anybody else going to stop at any of those shrines? Okay. As soon as you get in, you see the town square. It's kind of a bustling. There's several huts that are set up. Looks like semi-permanent installations for various shops, various craftsfolk. You can also see that each corner of the town square is filled with like small tent cities that appear to have elves. You can tell for sure, Alan, given your natural 20 earlier, that these elves are of different clans. Looks like maybe most, if not all, of the clans are represented by the elves that are sort of wandering around and congregated in these little tent pockets around the town square. You can smell fresh cooking coming from a couple of different directions, several different dishes. You don't smell anything that strikes you as being particularly like exotic or strange, but it all smells very good. And yeah, you can either decide to go kind of investigate the town square if you'd like, or you can just beeline your way to the inn. Dradaki does turn to you and says, "I have a friend I need to catch up with." He takes off his coin purse and he hands it to, I would say, probably Charlie, and says, "I will meet back up with you at the inn tonight and get you the balance of what I owe you."
Okie doke.
He takes off. What would the rest of you like to do? Do you want to check out the town square, or do you want to head straight to the inn?
I want to find a place that sells like weapons, particularly like magic weapons.
Okay. So you two are looking for magic weapons. What about Charlone?
I would probably be looking for tattoo inks, but I haven't been writing down any of the money that he owed us yet.
So your total travel would have been $19 days.
So 95 gold.
each. And he probably gave you each 75 in that coin purse.
Are we all taking our part, or am I putting it in the party fund?
I've kind of already been adding the gold that I got to my
Okay.
inventory.
Yeah, me too.
So take 150 off of that.
I just figured everybody's going to take their own then.
Yeah.
Sorry to do this in the middle of the game session, but can you tell me how much the crafting gold piece cost for a level 3 spell tattoo is? Like this once per day scrollish effect kind of tattoo.
Yeah, I sent you that formula on Discord. Do you have that easily accessible? Because I can look up the actual.
Magic item spell scroll. I don't see like the cost. I think that
It's
was
100
in
gold per. It's based off the cost in Xanathars. So you're looking at a third level spell is 500 gold.
okay.
The spell. And then your inks cost, what is it, 100 per level? Is that right?
Well, it would be based on you'd spend the amount based on the crafting cost of the.
Right, but it's 500 gold just to craft just to craft an item at that level.
Mm-hmm.
And then your inks cost 100 per level,
Okay.
I believe. And then if you cast
Mage craft.
Magecraft beforehand, then you can cut that in half.
Mhm.
So as you're going around shopping for a magic item, which one of you is going to be the primary shopper, I guess?
I think me. I only have like daggers right now.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and give me a persuasion check, if you don't mind, as you're kind of walking around talking to people, asking questions, just looking around, seeing what there is to see. This is a rather
Got a
you've
13.
grown. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I got a 13.
You've grown somewhat accustomed to like being surrounded by greenery at this point. You've done enough travel through the woods that just the woods themselves don't seem unusual to you. But you have not yet actually set foot in like an elven city. And the fact, as you're sort of walking around and taking things in, it really starts to sink into just how much this place incorporates the life around it into it. Every building is either crafted from a tree or most of them looking like they were magically crafted from a tree. So rather than cutting a tree down and building it out of lumber, these are like hollowed out with magic, and the trees are still alive and vibrant. You notice there just seems to be kind of a general aura of like harmony that people seem to have. You see a lot more people walking around with like animal pets, and much more in Shelzar, you're accustomed to people carrying pets that also can serve as personal security, partially because of the ban on weapons in Shelzar. There's not a ban on having like a hellhound on a chain in Shelzar, though. So that's the kind of pets you'll often see in the street, things that might kill somebody if they get aggravated, you know. These are like people have squirrels that they're talking to on their shoulders, and
Aw.
birds. You notice almost nothing is leashed or caged, but almost every shop has some sort of small woodland creature, either in the shop or like literally sitting in the shopkeeper's lap.
I like this place, Holland.
And the almost possibly even the most striking feature that you notice kind of as you're wandering is how easy it is to breathe here. It's as if almost like this is the cleanest air you've ever tasted or smelled. And it's just if you had to describe it in a word, you'd say it's paradise.
You live in a shithole. There's places like this around.
Yeah, it's seriously nice here.
One of the
Oh.
shopkeepers that you're walking past kind of says, "Not many of them." Didn't mean to eavesdrop, but there are a few places on Skarn that are as pristine as here. The Ganges Forest, maybe, but we've worked hard to make sure it's this nice here. That's for sure. Plenty of sacrifice went into it.
I imagine. Do you know? I'm sorry. Like, do you happen to know where I could find some place that sells like some good magical weapons?
Magical weapons, you say? Well, I do have some items here in stock. Why don't you go ahead and roll percentile for me 4 times there?
Percentile?
Yep. And since Alan has been helping you shop, you can roll each one of those with advantage, actually. So you'll roll 8 times and take the 4 best results.
Okay. So, oh no, it went away. Game log. Does it break it down like to?
If you hover over it, it should give you each of the dice. If you just hit like 8 percentile, you might have to click on it.
Okay. So the 4 best, I got 82, 70, 62, 65. Yeah, right? Yeah.
So 82, 70, 62, 65.
Yeah. 4 best ones.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of weapons on hand at the moment. I do have a scroll that you might find of use.
What's the scroll?
She starts rooting through her things. There is a weaponsmith across the way that might be able to help you. Let's see, where did I put that damn thing? She starts like setting various things up on, like little brooches and jewelry, things along those lines up on the counter. She's like reaching underneath behind. And you notice, despite the fact that this woman looks maybe 25 on a very, very bad day, she's moving like she's elderly and infirm.
Can I do a perception check to see if she's faking it or what?
That would be insight. And yes,
Can
you
I do it?
absolutely may.
15.
No, in fact, as you start looking her over, you can sort of see like where there's like she'll move in a certain way and you see just a little bit of a lump like from like an arthritic joint. And as you're sort of observing her closer and closer, you can start to see like signs of aging. It's just that her skin looks like that of a human in her 20s. She's
Cool.
definitely elf, though.
I'm sorry, I never caught your name.
She says, "Oh, I apologize. Yes,
apologize.
my name is Katina.
Katina. How do you spell that, Travis?
It's Kitena.
Thank you. You said, Katina, nice to meet you. I'm Alland. This is my friend Haiku. You said there was a weaponsmith around here?
There are a few, yes. What sort of weapons is it that you're looking for? I guess would be the best question.
Something I guess a little smaller, like little light, something light, that can swing pretty fast.
So someone who deals with like daggers and things of the like.
Mm-hmm.
Daggers, short swords, maybe a short bow. I don't know.
And I'm looking for beautiful and unique weapons.
I see. Well, yeah, if you head across the way, you should there's a couple of people of the over in the Beast Clan section that I think would have exactly the types of wares you're looking for. As for the scroll, here we go. Yes, this spell is Control Winds.
Ooh, how much is that?
Well, normally I would charge 500 gold.
Sorry.
But you two seem like a nice young couple. We'll
I'm
say
just like, Haiku.
Yeah,
I can let it.
seem like maybe not just like
I can let it go for 400.
it's a bit steep. How about I come back? I'll see what's happening after I get paid for a job.
Oh, of course, of course.
Thank you for your time, though.
Thank you. Be safe.
Take care. I'll toss her like a good 3 gold just for being nice.
She smiles and says, "Tennille be with you." While that exchange
Also with you.
while that exchange is going on, what are Charlung and Charlie doing?
I take it we're gonna need a place to stay here, right? Or to stay here for a night.
Yes,
Yeah, we
and
should
you
get
were
rooms
told
at
where
the
the
inn.
inn was.
Yeah, so I'll play for our rooms.
Okay. Are you going with Charlung, or are you going to stay and hunt for inks?
I was going to look to see if I could find inks, but also wanted to ask anyone else in the party if anyone wanted to get a tattoo of a once per long rest haste. We could do that. Just saying. I don't know if anyone wants that.
Yeah, that would actually.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be 250 golden inks, basically, and like 2.5 days of inking. But
Mm-hmm.
we can make that
Is that
happen.
per person?
Yeah.
That's a lot for me. I need to
Yeah.
sell some weapons and shit here. Speaking of weapons and shit, did I manage to figure out how to make that bow that has the knife edges, the sword edges on it?
Not quite yet, but there are also you can clearly see there are several bowyers here. And
Yeah, I was
about
gonna.
half of the population are carrying those bows.
Yeah,
So
cool.
You could probably even get taught how to use one.
Hell yeah. That's the plan. And no follow-up sidebar question.
yes.
If you have gems that are like magical and you put them in a weapon when you make them, do they become magical weapons?
Not unless the gem has some property that makes the weapon magical.
And are those like
Makes sense.
easily available, like the gems with magical properties, or no? They're just pretty.
No, that would be something you'd need to like make probably, or have a spellcaster make for you.
Okay.
Like something that would slot like you would imagine like in a video game or something like that. Like you need a spellcaster to design that for you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yep. So Charlie, you walk through the square and make your way to the inn. When you walk inside, it's pretty empty. You see there's a orc man behind the bar. And you see like a horse head sticking in a window.
I would assume you mean that it's attached to a horse, right? Not like
Yeah,
a mafia
like-
thing.
Well, go ahead and give me a perception check real quick.
I think my mom's about to sleep with the fishes and terrified. Perception, that was a 7.
Okay, yeah, you're pretty sure it's just a regular old horse. Barkeep says, "Oh, excuse me," and turns from the horse to you. What can I do for you?
Well, I was hoping to play for some rooms.
Oh, bard. We haven't had a bard in here in quite some time. Ain't that right? And horse goes, sure thing. And
That's interesting.
leans in further, and you see like a humanoid shoulder and realize it's an iron bread that's been leaning in the window.
Oh, is that the same as? Because there's another kind, right?
Yeah, Sutak.
Sutak, or
And do they
the
look different?
no, you can't tell the difference. But
Okay.
Sutak tend to self-mutilate. Sutak tend to brand themselves with molten lead, but as far as like just by their face, you can't tell the difference.
So like a rogue Sutek might.
I mean,
never
rogues-
know which one
tech-
it was.
Technically, a rogue Sutak is by default an iron bread. The only difference
Okay.
between the two of them is whether or not they've rejected the Titans.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they're not like a separate like a sub race or something like that. They're literally the same people. They're just divided by worship.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense.
Yep.
I don't even know. So like, can I do that?
Yeah, we probably won't see anybody in here until sundown, maybe a little after. There's a town hall meeting today, and most folk are going to it. I think I'm going to make the Mister go. And the Ironbread shakes his head and says, "That's going to be the most boring, ridiculous. I don't want nothing to do with it."
Something going on? There's a big meeting?
Well, a couple things. We got the lady of the tribe, I guess you might say, the elder. She's not been seen around a bit. A couple of townsfolk would like to ask her husband about that. So that's a thing. We have some ambassadors in from the various tribes. I think they're just planning on having a trade discussion, which that sounds like nothing but a party. You want a ale or a croissant or a cupcake or something while we're talking? It's on your tab, no charge.
That's fine. I'll do an ale.
All right. He pours you. It's like the thinnest ale you've ever seen in your life. It looks like Coors Light in an ale glass. It's the first ale you've ever seen you can see through.
That tracks. All right.
There you go. It's the house
Whatevs.
brew.
Whatevs.
Can I interest you in a pastry? And he walks over and opens this oven that's next to the bar, and your senses are assaulted with the sweetest, most delectable smell of baked goods that you've ever experienced in your life.
Sure. Pick me whatever you think is the best.
Can do. He pulls out a fresh batch of cookies and lays them out on the counter and says, "Help yourself."
I'll drop like 2 gold on the counter and tell him thank you.
He scoops it up. As you taste them, you'd swear there's magic in this recipe.
Can I cast identify?
Absolutely, you can cast identify.
Can I cast identify on that damn thing?
No, this is not a magical item.
Well then. Interesting.
He says, there are also some visitors from out of town posted up outside, envoys from the Gleaming Valley that are here to talk to the tribal leaders about something or other.
Do I know what the Gleaming Valley is?
The Gleaming Valley, yeah, you do, because of Breck. That's where the homeland of the Hollow Legionnaires,
Oh, okay.
where they're born.
And I have no reason to like think that that might be a problem, right?
I mean, the only thing that might worry you about is because, as far as you know, the Hollow Legionnaires are, champions. They're good, steadfast defenders of the people. So if they're here to sound the alarm about something, that might be a problem. But you would also expect that if they were here in that capacity, they'd not be waiting outside to talk to someone.
Fair.
So I mean, you do know, again, just from being friends with Breck, that the Hollow Legionnaires are definitely interested in opening trade relationships with other settlements. They're trying to expand outside of the Gleaming Valley. They've built kind of their own, nation there, but they want to start expanding their influence and their connections. So it might just be a diplomatic envoy to that end.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that then.
He says, well, you're welcome to post up. Here's some room key. How many people in your party?
There's 5 of us?
7 if you
Yeah.
count the guests that we're escorting.
Do I count them? Isn't that their whole aim?
I don't know.
Whatever. Fine. 7.
Says, well, we can cover the cost of 5 for a performance. I tell you what, if you really knock the socks off and I can move enough ale, I'll throw in the other 2 rooms.
All right.
Excellent. You sit down and eat these amazing, delectable baked goods of various variety, everything, cookies, cakes. It's like there's almost like a never-ending just parade of baked goods making their way out of the oven and into the various shelves that he has. And you see a couple of like elves and dwarves kind of meander in, almost like as Zugson is pulling out these baked goods, that the scent is like luring folk in from the street to pop in. And you do notice also that like nobody's ordering the ale. They're all just like, oh, I'll take 3 cookies and a cake. You want some ale? No. It's kind of like
it's terrible.
Do you make that observation out loud, or do you just?
Yeah, sure. Fine.
All right. Zugson says, well, it's not that. I mean, I'm learning. It's not that bad. And the Iron Bread doesn't even like lean in the window. It just says, it's horrible, babe. You should really order some from a dwarf or a human or perhaps a Slytherin that was injured and brain damaged. Just, you shouldn't be. We need to get different. She's not wrong. And Zugson turns around and throws a cookie out the window.
rough.
So you think the ale's no good, huh?
No, it's not great.
I tell you what, how long are you in the area for?
I don't know the answer to that question.
That's fair. Do you know where you're heading from here?
Sarah does not know that.
You're going to the you're ultimately going to the Broadreach Dwarf Village, you know that.
I didn't know that until you said it.
Yeah, to Freehome.
Travis, if you expect me to remember from one week to the next the name of a place that we're going, that's
I
Talking
said
about
it.
Charlie remembers that.
I said it 10 minutes ago.
I only listen about 30% of the time. So here we
That's
are.
fair. He says, "Well, if you are going to visit with the dwarves, if you can bring me back some, if you'll agree to bring me back a keg of the best dwarven ale in Freehome, I'll cover the costs of that ale. I'll give you a week's free lodging here, and I'll throw in 100 gold for your trouble."
All right. I think I can do that.
Deal. And he puts his big meaty ore can across the
Meaty.
counter. Yeah,
Thanks for saying that.
it's like a ham on the end of his wrist. And just,
Thanks for keeping up with it too.
no problem. That's what I'm here for. Meanwhile, back in the village, Charlong, you are making your way. You said you're on the hunt for inks, right?
Yeah, I have some wolf hide to sell also from
Oh, awesome.
our journey.
How much wolf
we
hide
had
are you carrying?
9 wolf hides. That's what you had me write down.
Excellent. Beautiful. While I'm looking for that, why don't you go ahead and give me a charisma roll, if you don't mind.
21.
As you're asking around, you notice they're not particularly circumspect about it. When you ask about like tattoo inks, people, even just kind of folk on the road, like eye you up and down, and like they're assessing your work, like what you're wearing, before they give you information about where to, like the tats that you have, basically, before they give you information about where to find them. Having said that, though, they appear to be quite impressed and tell you to head over to the northeast Watchtower. And when you arrive there, you find that the bottom floor of the Watchtower is a massive tattoo shop. There's probably a dozen people getting work done right now.
Nice.
One of the artists kind of looks half-ass over their shoulder as you walk in and says, "Have a seat. We'll be with you as soon as we had an open chair."
I'm actually a traveling artist myself and was hoping I might be able to purchase some ink.
Oh, that effect. Yeah, give me like 5 minutes and I'll be right there.
Sure. I browsed through their flash art.
There's a ton of it. And you can see there's kind of pieces up on the walls. Go ahead and give me a wisdom check with your tattoo proficiency.
13.
All right. As you're looking at some of the art that's displayed strikes you as being on an odd parchment. Doesn't look like it was drawn in any sort of sketchbook or any sort of paper, and you get closer and inspect it and realize that it is skinned elf flesh.
Huh. I know I had considered doing tattoo work on leathers before, but that's, I assume elves are pasty and white, so you know they better flat color, I guess. I don't know.
Either that or those tattoos were done on them while they were alive.
Disturbing.
He wraps up what he's doing and walks over, wiping his hands clean. Yeah, how much ink are you looking to get?
So I have 250 that I would like to spend. I don't know if anyone else in the party was planning to throw in on tattoos, but otherwise, I'll just get it.
Got it.
Okay. And were you trying to trade some pelts for some of that as well?
Yeah, I don't know how much the wolf pelts go for on the open market or whatever.
Here and with the persuasion roll you got, I would say you can score 2 gold per pelt.
Oh, if it was a persuasion roll rather than a charisma check, it would have been even 3 more. So it would have been a 24,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, so we'll go 2.5 gold per pelt.
9 times 2.5.
So
22 and a half. Yeah, I guess I'll just to make it nice even numbers, I'll go in for 300 total.
All right. He brings you over to the color palette, lets you pull whichever ones you want, and gives you 300 gold worth of ink. You can note that this ink will provide a +1 bonus to your tattooing
Oh,
check.
nice.
Yeah, you've never, as you're like even just moving it around in the jar, you've never seen ink that moved this smoothly. Like it seems to be like of a completely universal consistency, which is not something you're accustomed to.
Cool.
Just don't go shaking that like you would something that you picked up in Shelzar. You'll bruise the ink.
Understood. I put it in like a shock container. Padded box.
Pack it like it's nitro.
Yeah.
He says, if you need a chair, I think we've got an open one in the rotation like tomorrow.
I don't believe we're staying here for long on this stop. We're escorting someone to Freeholm.
Oh, nice. Haven't made the journey myself. Need to. Got a cousin that's married to one of the dwarves there. We should go down and visit sometime.
Do we have
Anyway.
a plan after Freeholm? Just curious. Like as a group?
Not currently, I don't think.
If we were to come back through this way, is there anything you'd like from there?
Matter of fact, if you're heading that way, give me 5 minutes. He grabs some parchment and scribbles out a letter, folds it up, and says, "If you can take this to the Splintersmith home, and this is going to need to go to Anita Splintersmith."
Very well.
And here, he tosses you another bottle with 50 gold worth of ink in it for your trouble.
Appreciate it.
Then if Anita tells you to bring anything back, just drop it back off for me.
can't promise we're making the return trip, but if we do, I will let her know.
Works for me. He says, Tini will be with you.
And you.
Back outside, the two of you make your way over to the Beast Clan section. Whereas most of the areas that you've seen so far seem to be primarily dealing with plants. There's some jewelry that's made with like copper, things along those lines, but not anything particularly like smithed or worked, and a lot of woodworking. As you get over towards the Beast Clans, like you start to hear like the telltale tink of, you know, hammers on forges, and it's also just kind of a more boisterous area where the Beast Clan representatives are camped out. And as you walk up, you do see a smithy, and the smith who's behind it is the stature of a dwarf, and has like a dwarven build, very broad-shouldered, very thick build, but has absolutely like long elven features and definitely elven ears.
That's so cool.
And he's banging away on the forge, working on looks like a shield. Help you with something?
Yeah, I'm looking for some weapons around here. Heard this is a place to be at.
Looks around. You see there's like weapon racks along the side. Aye?
Anything particularly special here? Or something you're proud of?
I mean, everything.
Gotta be like one thing where it's like your you know, piece of resistance though.
Oh, you want my my masterpiece? Sure.
I don't know if I can afford it. I just want to know what it is. Just see what I'm working with.
Go ahead and give me a percentile roll if you don't mind there.
72.
He pulls out a dagger that stretches the description of dagger. It's almost a short sword. And he lays it down. You notice that there's extremely fine elven lettering carved along one side of the blade, and the other side of the blade has dwarven runes carved into it.
Can I do an investigation check or perception check on the weapon to see how good it is?
Sure, you can roll. Are you proficient in perception?
No, but I am
Good.
in investigation.
Go ahead and roll your wisdom. Actually, go ahead and make an investigation roll. That's fine. That'll work.
19.
Okay. Yeah, as you're looking at it, it looks like it's very finely crafted, and you can tell by the sheen of the blade, by the way it's sitting, that this is very pure iron that this was made from. The steel has very little, if any, visible impurity in it. And those carvings are like you're not sure you could stamp those in at that level of delicacy.
Mhm. I nod appreciatively.
This is beautiful. How much would this go for?
You want me to get rid of? I mean, this is.
I'm sure
This-
I can't afford it anyway. I'm just curious if I ever come back around here, if I could.
This took me several months of hard work, but I could probably be persuaded to let it go for 1,100.
It does look worth it, but again, too
Every-
much of my blood right now.
Every bit. He picks it up and kind of starts spinning it around in his fingers. And says, "Best feature of this thing, though, I mean, aside from it just being razor sharp, he flips it around and hands it to you to handle.
I take it.
It's weighted perfectly. You can tell the minute you pick it up for throwing. And he says, but aside from it just being, sharp as you could imagine, it will let off a very faint white glow if there are any undead within about 60 feet of you.
Oh shit! It's only come in handy.
Very handy if you're planning on traveling, near the border of the horizon.
This is beautiful. I hand it back. Yeah, I can't afford this right now, but I am definitely keeping this in mind.
Well, it'll be here unless somebody else comes by with
How much
a
was it?
fat purse and a powerful need for a dagger. 1,100.
I look around the shop for anything else, like another kind of cool dagger for anything within a 200 gold price range, if any.
He says, well, I don't have anything that's enchanted for that range. But I do have this. And he pulls out a walking stick. And he walks up and taps the walking stick twice on the ground in front of himself. And the tip of it opens up like flowers open, and 3 blades come out of the tip.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Says, I can let this go for 200.
What exactly does it do? Anything particular? It's just like a hidden weapon, essentially.
Well, I mean, it's it's a good sturdy walking stick. If you can hold it, hide it. It's 3 taps to close it, and it shuts. And it will give you a pretty good reach. He taps it twice and lunges it forward, and you can get about 10 feet out with a strike.
That's pretty
Awesome.
impressive.
Yeah.
I scratch my chin, making sure he can see the dwarven family ring that I'm wearing.
He says, well, thanks. I always felt a little bit of a pull to steal. My mom says I've got my uncles in me, but working with the wood, I don't know. There's a connection to it. I do love making blades, but being able to do woodwork is a passion for sure.
Fascinating. I'm smitten right now, like a talented woodsmith and blacksmith. Tell me more. I'm keeping my poker face though, so I probably look cranky as hell still.
Sure.
I'm like, that's very interesting. I've never thought of incorporating woodwork with smith work. I myself do jewelry as well as weapons. So
Really? Do you have any of your work with you?
Do I? I have the blade that I've been working on, trying to mimic the. I'm like, well, just a work in progress.
Well, let me see it. Let me see it.
So I pull out the bladed bow. It's like we've met some beasts, elves on the way here, and they had this fascinating bow, and I just had to ask them to let me see it and show me how to use it, and I hand it over. Like
He takes it and says, "Have you been working with this from memory?" Starts.
Yeah, kind of.
It's really impressive.
I blush, but I'm like, no.
You're never going to get the weighting right on it, though, if you don't have a good reference piece. And he pops one off of his wall and hands it to you.
Oh, great. How much do you want for this one?
How long are you in town?
I look at Haiku and I was like, we're not sure, right?
I think we're just passing through.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're getting rest for tonight and think we might head the next day. I think that might be the case.
But you're in town for the remainder of the night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a client coming by in about an hour for this, so I need to finish this up. But I tell you what, why don't you buy me a drink at the inn and we'll call it square?
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I kind of like punch him in the arm. I'm like, you're cool. Because I don't know how to do this anymore.
He says, thanks. I didn't get your name, by the way.
Oh, sorry, I'm Alland.
Wonderful. I'm Bark.
Bark, B-A-R-K.
Yep.
Travis.
Yes.
Sexy. Cool. I guess, and I'm like, as shoving Haiku out of the door. So I will see you at the end.
Wait, I do want that walking stick though.
Your last mid-game pickup was an actual spider, so I think even a dude named Bark is probably better.
Yeah. Good times.
You do buy the walking stick then as well?
200, right? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give him 200.
I picture that Haiku had like just finished counting out 200 and like leaves it on the counter and grabs the stick like as Paul. It's like, okay, time to go.
Time to go by. So the way you can mark that down is it's a quarterstaff, but it's also a dagger.
Okay.
And the dagger just gives you the same reach.
Okay. Wait. So it's quarterstaff plus dagger reach, or wait?
Yeah, it's a quarterstaff. You can use it as a quarterstaff. You can also use it as a dagger, except that dagger has a 10-foot reach.
Gotcha. Cool.
So it's kind of a pole arm plus dagger.
Mm-hmm.
So you can mark it as two weapons, but just remember that it's effectively one weapon.
Okay.
As for your bow, have a second here.
I have to apologize to Haiku later, but I'm like, I don't want to talk about it.
Out of curiosity, I can always enchant weapons later on, right?
Yeah, if you learn like magical means of doing so, you absolutely can.
Or like I like hire somebody to do it for me too, So I mean,
That as well, yes.
That is assuming that the base thing is mastercrafted or whatever.
That's not a thing in 5e necessarily.
All right.
Yeah, there's not any actual mastercraft bonuses. So you just need to have a high quality item, which this qualifies for. for sure. All right. Are you all heading back to the inn then?
Yes. But what is the name of the bow?
I'm posting it in the Zoom chat.
Oh,
It's an
okay.
elven razor bow.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Charlie, as you're sitting there, the rest of the party shows up. Were you saying something?
Did we get more gold right now when he gave us the coin purse? That didn't count.
No, because you counted it as you were going, right?
I kind of, yeah, the ones up till we got there.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, so
everybody
we-
was supposed to log 75 when that guy gave us the pouch.
So we
Right.
got some.
So whatever you counted on your way there should have been 75.
Gotcha. Okay,
Right.
cool. Just making sure.
Well, I mean, he only gave 75 of it.
Oh, I thought you meant 75. Because
Right,
wasn't
'cause
it
he didn't-
95 total?
Yeah,
We've
it's like
been paid-
95.
we've so far been paid 75
Each.
gold, right?
He still
Right.
owes us each 20, is what Travis is
that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
But if you already wrote
Yeah.
it down, he still owes you 20. And just
Got it.
remember that. Don't count it again.
Right.
Just making sure.
So you all arrive, and now it's picking up. Charlie's playing. Why don't you go ahead and give me a performance check, Charlie?
19.
Excellent. Are you trying to get people to try the ale?
No,
Okay.
can't do that.
Wonderful. Yeah, you walk in, there's probably about 15 people in the common room. You can see the Ironbread poking his head in through the window every once in a while and talking to somebody who's sitting down, shouting things back and forth. There's an orc behind the bar. Just a grand old, fun old time happening at the inn. Charlie's playing, doing some fine tunes. What would everyone like to do when you arrive at the inn? Bless you.
Sorry.
You were being really weird with that guy, Holland. What was that about?
I just like his smithing. And then I blush. I'm like, stop it. Leave it alone.
Alan,
But
give me a
see, that part was so nice though.
What was that?
perception check if you don't mind, Alan.
Yes. I'm trying to change the subject to that nice sword.
Yeah, it was really nice. Sword.
9 perception check.
You got a 9 on your perception check?
Yeah.
You don't notice anything unusual.
Well, I'm flustered, so what do you expect?
When Haiku, as you're talking to Alan, you see a Ironbread with blonde mane, wearing just like a simple tunic, kind of come creeping up behind Alan, like he's gonna grab her from behind.
Watch your back, Island. And I prepare like my little core stuff. I knew anything about it.
You spin around and you recognize this Ironbread as a fellow by the name of Corn Silk Sam, who pretty much like you grew up together, but pretty much like right after adulthood, he took off to the Gleaming Valley, and you haven't seen him since.
So
This is-
I feel like it's gonna be like he says, "What's your back, Holland?" I turn like ready to fight, and they feel like, "Oh shit!"
He gives you a
I
big
think I
hug.
instinctively bonk him with the quarters out. I don't like taking it out. I just like kind of bonk him.
Ow! Your boyfriend's heavy-handed
Why does everyone assume he's my boyfriend? We're
because
friends.
he hit me with a stick when I hugged you. That's why.
What does that mean?
How have you been, dude? It's been forever.
I'm
You're
great.
tall now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I grew into my ears. My husband,
Barely.
well, one of my husbands owns this bar, and so I'm working the stables.
That's awesome. You live here. This is the nicest place I have ever been to.
It really is. It's amazing. When we talked about like Zug wanted to set up a inn, and we talked about a couple different places. We talked about the Gleaming Valley. We talked about up in the plains of Lead where he's from, but no, it is it's just as hot and miserable as back home, but there are also angry orcs up there. He just wasn't into it, and
Sounds terrible.
it's not great. I wasn't
And
a fan.
giant mosquitoes.
There are also giant mosquitoes up there. That's true. But we go up once a year to visit his family. We talked about the Gleaming Valley, but honestly, not the best place to start a business right now unless you have money, like big money. There's a lot of people investing there pretty heavily. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm boring the crap out of you. How's things? What are you doing here? Why are you this far from home?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm being rude. This is my friend Haiku. We are escorting what's his name?
I'm an asshole.
Dradaki
Yeah.
Bronze.
Jerdaki. I was gonna say Corala. We're escorting
Oh.
Jerdaki to his hometown. So we are passing through, but crazy to run into you here.
Yeah, it's a small world. Well, if there's anything I can do to make your stay more pleasant, you let me know. If you need anything stabled, I am an official stable boy. Otherwise, get yourself. My husband is one of the best bakers on all of Galspad, and I'm not just saying that, but don't drink the ale. It's awful.
Noted. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, let's catch up later. It's so good to see you. It's so good to know that you ended up somewhere nice after you kind of went off on your own. You never know.
Well, I actually spent a couple years in the Gleaming Valley as a siblinger, which was cool and a trip. But then I met Zug, and that was pretty much that. But yeah, I got a lot of found family up there. You should visit while you're in this part of the region. It's a beautiful place.
We might.
All right. Well, I better get back to work. He runs off. I'll see you more soon. Bye. He runs off.
It's crazy.
What are the rest of you doing? Charlie is playing your way through a place to stay. Any of you ordering any food? Doing anything else?
I'm getting ale and baked goods.
The baked goods are divine. The ale is like it tastes about like the water in Shelzar tastes.
Haiku loves it. This is really good ale. You should be proud of this.
Well, thank you. My husband was being very rude about it earlier.
I don't know what he's talking about. This goes down so easy. I love it.
Here, have another glass on the house.
Oh my god, everyone's so nice around here. I want to move here, Alden.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
Well, I was just mentioning, like, we don't really have a plan after getting Dradaki where he's going. Do we?
No.
We could come back. There does seem to be some enjoyment and friends to be had around here for a lot of us.
Yeah, can you imagine going back to Shelzar after this?
This is the only place I've ever been that I've liked.
Yeah.
When I die, bury me here.
Noted.
About that time, your new acquaintance Bark walks in. He's now wearing, rather than like the work apron and tunic, he's got on like a finely stitched, like linen tunic that has like golden patterns stitched into the edges of the sleeves and the hem. Um, he's wearing a wooden buckler on one arm, and has a razor bow like strapped to his back. He comes in and says, "Hello there, good to see you."
Hi, come sit with us.
For sure.
Try the ale. It's so good. I'm just scarfing down and
I mean, I do owe you ale.
You do owe me a drink. Normally I just get the whiskey here, but
you guys.
if you're in an ale mood, we could drink ale too.
No, I'm like, Zug, 2 whiskeys, please.
He pours 2 whiskeys and sets them up. What is Charlung doing around all this?
Just hanging out, watch people, enjoy their time, laughing along with jokes. Yeah,
Wonderful.
being a barfly.
About 20 minutes or so into you all being there, you notice Stradaki kind of come in. Just looking sort of crestfallen almost. And he kind of just ambles his way up to the bar, gets a room key, and walks out of the common dining area.
Can I do a perception check on him as he walks in?
Sure. Why don't you roll insight?
Insight. Nope, I have no clue.
What'd you get?
5.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he looks sad. That's pretty obvious, but that's about all you get from him.
It doesn't pay me enough to care.
You're obviously a little distracted at the moment. Bark starts explaining to you, he's from Freehome. His father is actually a Broadreach elf, and his mother is a dwarf.
What?
His father's a Broadreach elf. His mother's a Broadreach dwarf.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, he explains that he, had some uncles that came and visited when he was a child from the Kelders, who started him out on the smithy work. A lot of the people in his clan prefer to work with wood, but he found the marriage of the two to be quite exhilarating to work on.
Yeah, I've never seen it done so beautifully.
Well,
Well, I've never seen it done at all, but it's very nice. Your work is very nice.
Well, thank you. I'm certainly not the only one who does this kind of work among the dwarves, but it's rarer. It's cool though. People, been pretty supportive. My mom's always been very cool with me kind of pursuing what I wanted to pursue, and Dad's fine with it. Yeah, we're not, I guess, as close as we could be. He's kind of wrapped up in his own little world, I suppose. He tends to, he's more of a martial fellow, I guess you might say.
Interesting.
Little disappointed, I think, that
Yeah,
I
family
didn't
can be
decide to. What? What was that?
Because that family can be complicated.
Yeah, I think he's just disappointed that I didn't go into hunting, particularly hunting Titan spawn. That's kind of his chosen trade.
Interesting.
But I figure we have enough of those things that we have to fight when they periodically show up. I don't want to go looking for them.
That is very prudent. Well, why? I say, as I clearly always go find trouble, but I say, well, why go find trouble when you can just relax,
Right. I figure
and
it's
work
gonna
on your craft.
it's gonna walk in one way or the other.
Mhm.
You come to a lull in your performance, a good time for a break, Charlie. Are you going to rejoin the group and see what they're up to, or are you going to just stay up on stage?
Oh, I'll go check and see what everybody's up to and if they need anything, or let them know that we have rooms.
Okay. Cool. Brick says, "Oh, you're friends with the bard?"
Yeah, we are here together. Charlie is great. They're really great. They've saved my hide several times over.
Well, then I suppose I owe you thanks, because it's a very nice hide you've saved. And he
I blushed. so
Bow to
hard.
the wow.
I'm like, another whiskey, please. How's that?
And he hands you a couple of coins and says, "It was very beautiful music you performed."
Thank you.
He says, "Tell me, do you know Tennille's eyes?"
What?
Do you know
I barely know her.
You know the song Tennille's
Right.
Eyes? It's a very, very common ballad, love ballad about how Tennille is the most beautiful goddess, so on and so forth.
So it's something I do know.
Probably, yeah. Chances are.
Yeah, sure.
He slides you another 5 gold and says, "I wouldn't mind if you opened your next setup with that."
All right. I will do that.
Is anyone doing anything else before the next set begins?
You know what I like about this ale? I've drinking like 20 of these and I haven't felt a thing yet. You know?
Everybody else in the inn's like, "Yeah, we know."
Awesome. I gotta pee really bad though. Be right back.
It's like the water in Shelzar, because alcohol is
The what?
illegal there. You get it?
You start playing your second set. Bark asks if you would like to dance.
I'm like, me?
Well, I mean, I could ask Haiku, but he's in the bathroom again.
It's fair.
They're a long time too.
I could come back. Like, okay. I'm gonna roll a performance check to see if I can dance. I don't think I can dance.
I'm gonna toss you a bardic inspiration when I see you get up to dance. I can see your face. I know I can.
Thank you, Charlie.
And it registers in full for you for the first time as he helps you to your feet. The height differential that you two are working with.
I was about to ask.
Mr. Miracle and Big Barda.
Because he's like a cool 4'9".
Strong 4'9" though, like strong.
I mean,
You're like a
he's
thick
he's built like a square. Yeah, he's 4'9" both ways. But
Can we get a half enlarge and a half reduce over here?
Amazing. I'm about it.
All right, so go ahead and roll your performance check.
Oh my gosh. 15, and then the bardic inspiration gives me advantage, right?
No, it gives you a D8 to add to it.
Oh, a D8 to add to it. That's even better. Yellow, and I think that's an 8. Let's see. That was 1. 15.
All right, 15 is still pretty good though. You managed to
Not step on his feet.
absolutely not step on his feet, but also you turn some heads. Kind of everybody in the when the song finishes up, you notice about half of the people in the inn are clapping for Charlie, and the other half are clapping, like looking at the two of you, who were the only people dancing.
Maybe you
We're
whoop
quite
ass
right.
gracefully. And so that's where you learned it.
Dear Jesus. Dear Tennille, I mean.
At that moment, I probably like walk out from that bathroom and just like it's like that moment where like you're like, I'm not drunk, and you go to the bathroom, you pee, and like, oh, I'm really drunk. And so then I kind of like walk into like the dining room, and I'm just like, just,
Zug looks over the bar and says, "That's never happened before."
Haiku's dedicated.
About this time, a couple of the elder elves come walking in, also kind of looking a bit sour. They sort of walk past your table, and as they do, you hear them going back and forth in Elvish. Does anyone who's sitting at the table speak Elvish?
No.
You do notice that. Go ahead and I'll have all of you make a insight check, and you can have advantage on this one, Alan, if you'd like.
Can I make one too, even though I'm performing?
Oh, you absolutely can. Yeah,
I'm passed out. I'm not taking it.
that's fair.
14.
You definitely notice the bad mood on these two elves that have walked in, and you certainly notice that the guy that Alan is sitting with noticed it as well. Alan, what'd you get?
15.
All right, you notice like Bart, probably for the first time since he sat down, his attention gets kind of drawn away as they walk in for a moment. And then he just looks back at you. And you see him kind of compose himself, but he does look concerned for a moment. And what did
Is
you get,
everything
Shiloh?
okay?
Just 1 second. Did you make the check, Charlie?
16.
Okay, same. You notice
Yeah.
the same. He says, "Yeah, those are a couple of the town elders. It sounds like something not great happened at the meeting. That I probably should have gone to, but oh well.
Do you need to go talk to them or something?
I might just poke my head over and see what happened."
Yeah.
He walks over and he's gone for about 4 or 5 minutes, and he comes and sits back down. As well, apparently, that group of Hollow Legionnaires outside of town
Mm-hmm.
are looking for some help, and there was a bit of a kerfuffle because the matriarch isn't here. So there was a bit of disagreement about whether or not we could afford to offer them some aid. But sounds like we kind of kicked the can down the road for a couple of days. And they're looking to hire some mercenaries. don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, if it wasn't stuck here, I might go look at making a little bit of coin. I don't know. Going and looking for some missing glowing people can't be that hard, right?
Nope, it really can't.
But yeah. Anyway, nothing to worry too much about. And they have dug enough into our night. I know you've got to head out early tomorrow, right?
Oh, we don't know what time, but
Oh.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I shouldn't keep you too long then. I know that traveling, even in the trails of the horizon, can be pretty exhausting. So I should probably take my leave of you. But, if you have time and want to swing by my shop before you leave town, it'd be good to see you in the morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Gets up and says, I had a lovely time. Thank you for the drinks.
Thank you for the bow.
I hope it serves you well.
I hope I learn how to use it soon.
And he turns and walks out.
Damn it.
And that's where we'll wrap things up for this week.
No, I was gonna go scrape Haiku off the floor.
Okay, go scrape Haiku off the floor.
Yeah, I'll like scrape Haiku off the floor, kind of like, and sit him next to me again.
As
Like-
you do, I kind of like drunkenly, like in my like half asleep, like just I go like, Haiku, you're my best friend. I want to be like you one day. And I awesome,
Love it. Anybody else have any last bar moments they want to get in before we wrap things up?
I
Wonderful.
think so.
That's what we'll pick up next session. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about this week's session?
Good times.
Oh, Ariana Grande are really in it now.
Love it. All right. So yeah, we will be back here 2 weeks from tonight. We'll be at full strength, and we'll see what happens next in this exploration of the Broadreach Horizon. Again, I want to just remind everybody that if you are liking what you see, obviously, if you've not yet done so, please make sure that you follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, regardless of whether you're watching this live on Twitch or later on at YouTube. Make sure you're subscribing to the platform where you see it. If you want to check out Dead Man's Rust, it is available for pre-order over on BackerKit. Pre-orders get access to the pre-edited manuscript of the text, so you could start your adventure in the Broadreach Horizon right away with it. I also want to remind you that there is a sale over at our partners at Indie Press Revolution. It's the Halloween sale, has several Onyx Path Productions books in it, including some of the 20th anniversary edition Dark Ages is in there. Wraith 20th special edition is in there. Changeling 20th special edition is in there. And all of the Scarred Lands books that are currently available at Indie Press Revolution are also in that sale, and those are half off. So head over for the Halloween sale. Throw that link in the chat there. And do want to encourage you to stop by Save Against Fear this weekend over at the Bodhana Group. A lot of the panels are going to be streamed on the Bodhana Group's Twitch channel. And there are, as I said before, games set up that you can purchase tickets for, and I think you can still sign up to run games to raise money for the Bodhana Group, which is an amazing charity. And I will put their link in the chat as well. I have been Travis Legge. My pronouns are he, him, they, and when I'm not doing this, I am writing Scarredlands stuff and developing Scarredlands stuff and writing stuff for other game lines and all types of fun stuff. So if you look my name up anywhere on the internet at Travis Legge, you'll find me. Let's go ahead and go in reverse order. So let's start things off with Charlie. Please tell us who you are, what you do, who you are playing, pronouns, and where we can find you on the interwebs.
Okay. I am Sarah Schroneber. I play Charlie. Both of us are she, her. I am all over the internet as Wordsmith Sarah. I have a podcast called the Twin Freaks Podcast, which is on all the podcasting places. And I stream on both YouTube and Twitch.
Thank you so much. Next up, please, if you would, Haiku, give us your pertinence.
Hey guys, I'm Mike Mutant. I am sometimes a comic artist when I feel like it, when that art block isn't kicking my ass. And I also I'm Mike Mutant everywhere online pretty much. I stream here on Twitch every now and then, some video games, art streams, stuff like that. Yeah, and I'm playing Haiku, both of us, he, him. Yeah, that's me.
Rock and Rolla. Charlon, please give us your pertinence.
Hey there, I'm Corey Frang, aka Narf on the internet. They, them, playing Charlung, and yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything fun or exciting to plug this week. You're muted.
Caves of Cud is always fun.
Oh yeah, Caves of Cud is fun. You should check it out. We're about to, I think the beta is about to go live on the main line, which is interesting. So, new character creation menus by me. Yay.
Yeah, hit that up on Steam and then tweet at Narf and let them know what you think of the new UI. If it's nice. If it's not, just reflect quietly on your opinion. That also reminds me, speaking of Steam, if you didn't know, Creature Collection is up for Fantasy Grounds. You can pick it up on Steam. So I almost forgot to plug that. Sorry. Thanks for reminding me. And I guess that leaves us with Alan. Please give us your pertinence.
I am Milena Deneno, a human artist. And I play Alan, who is really in it now. And I don't have anything to, I guess I posted a PDF of my sketchbook scans on my Patreon. So for $1, you can see 28 pages of my sketchbook. But you don't have to. It's
And
fine.
I believe there's a vampire character hidden in there, isn't there? A certain.
Yes, there is
certain one of your
one of our characters from the Friday Vampire the Masquerade's stream is drinking eyeball boba tea. But it's good. It's all good. I'm excited to see what happens next in this story, and nervous and excited, but
Well, good. Me too. I look forward to seeing where this goes. Once again, I would encourage you all to be here. We're running this game the first, third, and fifth Wednesday of every month. So please make sure you join us. And if you have not yet done so, please go get your shot. The CDC has approved boosters for a whole bunch of people. If you go to their website, you can see who. If you're on that list, go get a booster. Get a flu shot. Just vaccinate. Just take care of yourselves. Take care of the people you love. It's the responsible and smart and kind thing to do. And the world could use more of all of those things.
exactly.
So thank you so much for spending this time with us. And hang out. I'm going to send a raid over to our good friends over at Devil's Luck Gaming. And we will see you next time.
Bye.